Guys, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon kung kailan mo pinapanood to. So for this session, discuss natin yung pre-board ha. And I think naman medyo maayos-ayos naman yung results natin. So para lang makita natin kung saan tayo medyo nahirapan, tsaka kung saan tayo medyo kailangan pa mag-aral. Okay? So don't worry about the result dun sa mga medyo tagilid, so to speak. Ang important dito is matutunan natin kung saan tayo dapat mag-aral pa at saka saan pa magtuon ng pansin. Alright? Sige. So let's begin. We have 100 items, guys, so please bear with me. Alright. Number 1. It is the voluntary administration of the property of another without his consent. Of course, alam natin yan, di ba? That is letter A, negotiorum gesture. Okay, definition lang. Number 2, the creditor has a right that is enforceable against a definitive passive subject. This right is known as, ano yan? A personal right. Pagka directed towards a definite passive subject, personal yon. Pero pag against the whole world, real right ang tawag doon. Okay? So number 3, this refers to delay on the part of the creditor. Di ba? Normally, yung sa debtor ang alam natin, but when it refers to the creditor, it is mora accipiendi. Okay? Kasi normally, di ba, yung creditor, ano bang ginagawa niya? Tinatanggap yung delivery or hinahayaan niya mag-perform yung debtor or obligor. Di ba? Okay. So, number 4. The following are the remedies of the creditor to pursue his claims against the debtor, except 2. Okay? So, marami yan, di ba? Now, ano raw yung hindi? Yan. Siyempre, letter D. Hindi pwedeng i-compel yung obligations to do. Kasi 'di ba violation ng constitution 'yan. And kapag ka obligation to do, ano nang remedy mo diyan, 'di ba? Most of the time nagiging damages na lang. All right? So number 4 letter D. Number 5. One of the following obligations is not immediately demandable. So hindi siya demandable at once. All right? So ano sagot natin diyan? Ex-die. Okay? Yung ex-die yan yung suspensive period yan. So, aantayin mo dumating. All the others, pwede mo nang i-demand agad. Okay? Ang bantay mo, yung mga katulad niyan, yung mga terms na Latin, okay? Kasi, of course, inuhuli ka lang yan kung alam mo ba yung term na yon. Okay? Tapos, take note lang yung letter B, pag resolutory condition, di ba? Demandable yan at once. Ano mangyayari dyan? Kapag nangyari yung condition, ma-extinguish. Okay? Number 6. Whenever a period is designated in an obligation, the said period shall be presumed to be established for the benefit of, syempre, pareho sila. If the problem is silent or the facts do not disclose otherwise, syempre, for the benefit of both yan. For the benefit of both. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi mo pwedeng i-demand. Kung ikaw yung creditor, hindi mo pwedeng i-demand. Tapos kung ikaw yung debtor, hindi ka pwedeng magbayad. Hindi mo pwedeng i-compel yung creditor tanggapin yung bayad prior to the arrival of the period. Okay? Now, number 7. The following obligations are divisible, except, ano raw yung hindi? Ano hindi divisible? Siyempre, letter A. Okay? Nasa CODA lang ito. Okay? Again, codal provisions lang. Yung letter A, pag definitive things or definite things, hindi mo na pwede i-divide yan. Alright? Indivisible na yan. Okay? Kasi there is no way of dividing it. Okay? So, number 7, letter A, Number 8, in obligations with the penal clause, okay, the creditor, as a rule, may recover from the debtor in case of breach the following. So, penal clause, okay, so ano lang pwede mo pagka silent ang problem? Letter D, yung penalty only. Bakit? Kasi di ba yung penalty clause or yung penal clause, yan na yung nagsiserve as substitute doon sa damages and interest. So, hindi mo na pwedeng kolektahin as a general proposition, generally, okay, yung penalty lang ang pwede mo kunin. Hindi mo na pwedeng kunin yung damage and interest kasi nga yan yung kapalit. Okay? So, number 8, letter D ha. Number 9. D borrowed from C 50,000 pesos. The obligation is secured by the chattel mortgage on D's Chevrolet car. Subsequently, D paid C 20,000 pesos. Unknown to D, P, a third person, pays 50,000 pesos, believing that that D still owed C such amount. Right? So, anong sagot natin dito? Mali po yung letter A. Sorry. Dapat yan ay letter D. Okay, D. Sorry guys, number 9, letter D ang sagot. Okay, letter D. Kasi, unknown ito, di ba? Unknown. So, ibig sabihin, beneficial reimbursement lang. Okay? So, alin ba yung nag-benefit na lang siya? So, 50K, pero nabayaran na yung 20. So, out of the 50, ang nag-benefit na lang siya is yung 30 na lang. Okay? So, the rule is found, guys, in Article 1236. Okay? So, hindi yan pwedeng, hindi yan pwede na yung buong 50 ang makuha mo. Bakit? Kasi, beneficial reimbursement lang to. Kasi unknown sa'yo eh. Without your knowledge, tsaka, syempre, without your consent ito. Now, also, titingnan mo rin si Article 1237. Kasi sa 1237, anong sinasabi? Kapag nagbayad ka without the knowledge, you cannot compel the creditor to subrogate. So, ibig sabihin, pag walang subrogation, hindi mo pwedeng i-foreclose yung mortgage. Kasi hindi na-transfer sa'yo yung rights ni creditor. Hindi ka pumalit sa kanya. Alright, so again guys, sorry about this one. Number 9, letter D. Hindi A, kundi letter D. Ang sagot dito, D, T can recover 30,000. If D cannot pay, T cannot foreclose on the mortgage. Alright, so number 9 letter D ang sagot natin. Alright, sige. Number 10. D owes 2,200 to C, which is payable in 11 monthly installments beginning at the end of the current month. In this case, ayan, may mga statement. Ay, teka. Number 10. Ay, mali. Ay, naulit guys. I'm sorry. Okay, naulit yung ano. Okay, naulit itong question. Okay? Sorry. So, again, basahin ko na lang. This is D owes 2,200 or 2,200 pesos to C. Okay? Which is payable in 11 monthly installments beginning the end of the current month. Okay? In this case, statement 1. D can use coins in denominations of 1 centavo to up to 25 centavos to pay only if C agrees to accept payment in such manner. Okay, so statement 1. Statement 2. D can use coins in denominations of 1 peso up to 20 pesos only if C does not object to such payment. Okay, so, or statement 3. D can use BSP banknotes to pay with or without C's consent thereto. Alright? So again, statement 1, D can use coins in denominations of 1 centavo up to 25 centavos to pay only if C agrees to accept payment in such manner. Statement 2, D can use coins in denominations of 1 to 20 pesos only if C does not object to such payment. Or statement 3, D can use BSP banknotes to pay with or without C's consent thereto. Okay, so ano answer natin? Tama naman dito, letter D nga yung sagot. Ano ba yung letter D? Only 2 are false. Ano yung false? Statements 1 and 2. Okay? Now, statement 1, bakit yan false? Kasi remember guys, yung basis natin dito is yung BSP Circular number 1162 series of 2022. Okay, ito yung nilabas nila dahil naging barya na yung 20 pesos. Okay, so they had to update. Diba? Remember yung 20 pesos for us, for people old enough to remember, yung 20 pesos, dati bill yun or BSP banknote. Okay? Dati bill. Papel, perang papel siya dati. But then, later on, ginawa na siyang barya. So they had to update. Now, ano ba sabi dun sa Circular 1162? Now, ang sabi dyan, kapag 1 centavo up to 25 centavos, ang limit mo is 200 pesos. Okay? So, kung yung utang mo or yung babayaran mo is 200 pesos and below, pwede mong ibayad yung 0.01 hanggang 0.25. Okay? Now, kapag naman piso, up to 20 pesos yung barya mo, yung limit mo is 2,000 pesos. Okay? So, 2,000 pesos and below, pwede mong ibayad yung piso up to 20 pesos na barya. Alright? So, tingnan natin yung problem. Installment ito, di ba? 2,200, yes, tama. Pero 11 monthly installments. So, each installment, magkano binabayaran mo? 200. Therefore, mali yung statement 1. Bakit? Kasi, hindi kailangan ng consent ni C. Dahil, ano ang limit ng 0.1, 0.01 to, ay 0.01 up to 0.25? Ang limit niya is 200. So, pasok ka. Di ba? That is the same reason kung bakit false yung statement 2. Kasi yung piso hanggang 20 pesos, of course, pwede yan. Kasi ang limit niya mas mataas, 2,000 yan. Alright? So, false yung statement 1, false din yung statement 2. Now, yung statement 3, true yan. Kasi if banknotes, BSP ha, BSP banknotes, meaning yan yung bills, yan yung perang papel, ay kahit ano yan. Pwede may pambayad sa kahit ano yan. Or, ay sorry, hindi pala kahit ano. Pwede may pambayad sa kahit magkano. Alright? So again ha guys, yung number 10, sorry, yung naka-post dito is the wrong question, pero binasa naman natin. Again, ang answer dyan is letter D. Okay? Only 2 are false. Ano yung false? Statement 1 at saka statement 2. Right? So let's move on. Number 11. A, B, and C are solidary debtors of X for 40K. X released D from payment of his share of 10,000. Okay? When the obligation became due, C turned out to be insolvent. Should the share of the insolvent debtor be divided only between the two remaining debtors, A and B? Okay, the answer here, guys, is letter. The answer here, guys, is letter D. Alright, hindi pwede. Okay, kasi the release of the share of the debtor would then increase the burden of the other debtors. Okay? Also, okay, pwede mo rin tingnan si Article 1217. Okay? So, sa bandang dulo yan, yung when one of the solidary debtors cannot because of insolvency, reimburse. Ayun. Kailangan mong yung share niya should be borne by the co-debtors in proportion to the debt. Okay? So, this is one of the examples ng paano gumagana yung solidary liability. Alright? So, yung share ng insolvent debtor, kasama pa rin yung na condone yung share niya. Alright? So, ang hindi lang magbabayad among the debtors, kasi di ba reimbursement yan. So, ang hindi lang magbabayad among them is yung insolvent lang. Bakit? Kasi wala nga siyang pambayad eh. Alright? So, i-absorb nung tatlo na remaining. Alright? Kahit na si D, nagkaroon na ng remission ng condonation ng share niya from X. Alright? So again guys hindi i-shoulder nung dalawa lang. Dapat silang tatlo. Okay? So number 11, letter D ang sagot natin. Number 12. Okay, payment means not only delivery of the money but also performance. Okay, in any other manner of an obligation. Okay, yung extinguishment, yung mode of extinguishment. So by its nature, it is considered the primary mode of extinguishing obligations. Now, if Brad borrowed 10,000 pesos from Jason to be repaid on a stipulated date, the obligation will be completely extinguished if, okay, statement 1. At the maturity date of the loan, Brad accepted Jason's wallet, which originally cost 8,500 and now valued at 5K in lieu of paying in cash. Statement 2. After maturity date, Jason's 10,000 pesos is stolen by robbers on his way to Brad's residence with the intention of settling the liability, even in the absence of demand for payment. And statement 3, prior to the maturity date, Jason tenders 10,000 crisp 1,000 peso bills and subsequently deposits the amount in court because Brad refused to accept payment. Alright? So guys, ano may tanong? Walang tanong. So, alin dyan ang true, alin dyan ang false? Guys, yung statement 1 lang po yung true. Alright? So, the answer here is letter D. Okay, bakit? So, statement 1 lang ang true, that is actually an novation. Diba? So, instead na pera, ang binigay yung wallet. It doesn't matter kung ano siya. Kasi wala namang stipulation. What happens? The old obligation is extinguished. Alright? Tas ito na yung, the old contract is extinguished, tas napaltan na nito. So, regardless kung 5,000 na lang yung worth ng wallet, bayad na. Considered bayad na. Okay? Kasi di ba, novation is one of the modes of extinguishing obligations. Now, statement 2 is false. Bakit? Kasi remember, yung pera or yung obligation ni Jason is generic. Yung pera, di ba? Pera is generic. So, even if it is lost, meron ka pa ring obligation. Kasi kailan lang ba nangyayari yung fortuitous event? Kailan siya nag-extinguish? Pag particular or pag specific yung property. Alright? So, statement 2 is false. Statement 3 is also false. Bakit? Kasi prior to maturity date. Okay, remember, pwede ka lang, ang pinupunterian nito is yung tender of payment and consignation. Remember, pwede ka lang mag-consignation or pwede mo lang i-invoke yun kapag may unjustified yung refusal. Okay? Eh dito, justified po yung refusal ni Brad. Bakit? Kasi hindi pa naman maturity date. Alright? So hindi natin siya pwedeng pilitin i-accept yung payment prior to the maturity date. Bakit? Kasi remember, di ba, yung period is for the benefit of both. Okay? So, ayan, number 12, letter D ang sagot natin. 13. The general rule of no demand, no delay is not applicable in the following cases except. Alright? So, ang sagot natin, guys, dito is letter C. Okay? Remember lang yung rule natin sa 1169. Di ba? Normally, no demand, no delay, except na lang if may tatlong instances na nakalagay, di ba? So, when the obligation or the law expressly so declare, tapos when the time is of the essence, tas number 3, kapag ka-demand would be futile. Now, dito, sa example natin or sa problem natin, tingnan mo yung number. Okay, tingnan mo yung number 1. So, kapag hindi ka raw nakapagbayad on time, tingnan mo, may penalty, oh. Di ba may interest siya, may compensatory interest siya. Okay? So, what happens? What happens? Ibig sabihin, yung obligation mismo, it expressly states na there is no need for demand. Okay? Kasi automatic yun nakalagay dito. Magkakaroon ka ng penalty kapag hindi ka nakapagbayad on time. Okay? Letter B. Ito, tax. O, di ba? Mga income tax yan. No? Section 24. 24D, 24C. Oh, mga income tax ito. Di ba? Ano nangyayari? Di ba, pay as you file yan. Pay as you file. So, pag hindi ka nakapag-file, it doesn't matter kahit walang demand si BIR sa'yo. Actually, matakot ka pag nag-demand na si BIR sa'yo. Okay? May interest na to. May interest na agad dito. Okay? Ano lang ba nangyayari dyan? Okay, ano lang ba nangyayari dyan? Siyempre, kapag habang hindi pa na-discover ni BIR, o di pwedeng pwedeng hindi mo pabayaran. Kasi hindi pa niya na-discover eh. Pero remember, pag na-discover na niya yan, yung interest, okay, yung interest, ano mangyayari? Doon pa, from the time na dapat binayaran mo, doon nila i-recon. Alright? Now, letter D, di mo? Wedding day. So, dito naman guys, sa letter D, time is of the essence ang pinag-uusapan. Alright? So, again, letter A, yung obligation itself says so. Letter B, the law itself says so. Letter D naman, time is of the essence. Yung letter C, yan yung normal. Okay? Kahit na may specific date yan, take a look, wala namang sinabi what happens kapag hindi ka nagbayad. Okay? Or hindi mo na-deliver. Wala. So, ibig sabihin, there has to be demand first. Okay? So, number 13, letter C tayo, ha? Okay. 14, three of the following may be objects of contracts. Okay? Except, so alin daw yung hindi pwede? Okay, koda lang ito guys. Siyempre, yung rights which are intransmissible. Hindi mo nga pwedeng i-transmit eh. So, hindi mo pwedeng maging object ng contract yan. Alright? Intransmissible rights. Alright? Hindi mo pwedeng ipasa. No, 15. Okay, the contract wherein both contracting parties are incapable of giving consent and yet ratified by the guardian of either is. Okay? So, incapable of giving consent sila pero yung isa, yung guardian ng isa, what did that guardian do? Nag-ratify. So, ano sagot natin doon? Voidable na lang siya. Okay? Kasi pag ratified, on one side, what happens? Di ba nawawala yung defect? So, kung isang side lang yung nag-ratify, ano mangyayari? It is as if only one of the parties is incapacitated. Okay? So, letter B ang sagot. Number 15 is letter D. So, 16. Three of the following contracts are void. Which one is not? Okay? So, letter A ang sagot natin dito. Okay, oral piece of land, all are minors, no problem. Kasi guys, yung contract of sale, remember, yan ay consensual. So, wala problema yan. Ano ngayon kung all minors? Okay lang. Unenforceable. Walang problema. Okay? Kasi yung unenforceable, valid pa rin. Now, ito. Agent given oral authority to sell the land of the principal. Okay. Oh, okay. Problematic ito. Okay, bakit? Kasi this one is valid also. Okay, this one is valid also. Hindi ito void. Ang void dito, guys, yung letter B, okay, ang void dito is ano? Kapag binenta na. Dalawa ang contract mo kasi dito. Yung agency, okay, ito, yung authority niya, contract yan, yun yung SPA, di ba? Tapos, syempre, anong gagawin ng ahente? Anong gagawin ng agent mo? Ibebenta niya. Okay? Yung authority niya, okay lang. Kahit oral yun, no problem. Ano ang magiging void? Yung subsequent na sale. Okay, kulang to, kulang yung letter B. Okay, so, ito valid din to. So, letter C. Okay, partnership contracts in a private instrument wherein immovable. Ayan, problema yan. Pag may immovable property guys yung partnership, di ba kailangan ng inventory? Otherwise, it is void. So, yung C, void yan. Letter D. The contract selling a piece of land, forest land, which was notarized and duly paid for. Okay yan, void yan guys. Bakit? Kasi hindi mo pwedeng ibenta ang forest land. Okay, ano lang pwede mong ibenta? Agricultural land lang pwede. Kulang pa nga yun. Dapat agricultural land na alienable and disposable. Okay, yun lang pwede ibenta. Alright? So again guys, letters number 16, letter A yung sagot natin. Pero itong letter B, kulang ito. Okay? Kulang ito. Kasi actually valid din yan. Alright? Sige. Number 16, bonus na lang. Number 17, which of the following contracts is valid? Nako. Alright. So letter D ang sagot natin. Pero guys, again, yung letter A, valid din to. Again, just like kanina, yung contract of agency, valid yan. Ano yung nagiging void? Ang nagiging void po is yung ito. Yung letter C. Yung subsequent contract of sale. Bakit? Kasi remember, yung agency, yan yung SPA pa lang. Pero syempre, after mo bigyan ng SPA yung ahente, ibebenta niya yung property on your behalf. Yun po ang nagiging void. Yung sale na yun. Alright? Pero yung agency, valid siya. Insufficient lang yung authority. So if you want to take a look, that is Article 1874. Okay? 1874 po ang basis nun. Pakibasang mabuti, pansinin mo, yung void lang is ano? Yung contract of sale. Hindi po yung agency. Alright? So dito, ang valid dito is yung letter A at letter D. Okay? Valid yan pareho. Okay? So, yung letter C, yung letter B, void yan kasi immovable. Sa partnership, kailangan ng inventory. Yung letter C, ito. Ito yung sinasabi ko. Contract of sale entered by an agent who was given an oral authority by the principal. Alright? Kapag ganitong situation, guys, ito void yung sale. Okay, void yung sale. Pero yung authority, valid yan. Alright? Yan lang medyo nakakalito sa agency. Dalawa kasi yung contract na pinag-uusapan natin. So again, ang basis natin, guys, Article 1874 ha. Pakitingnan na lang. Paki-Google para basahin mo mabuti. So number 17, ang sagot natin, letter D, and dapat yung letter A pwede rin. Alright? So bonus na naman ba? Dalawa na yung bonus niya. Okay? Number 18, S was intimidated by B to sell to the latter, okay, at a very low price. Okay. C, the creditor of S, was thus damaged since the former has no other means of collecting from S. The remedy of S is what? Siyempre, intimidation, B yan. Kasi si S yung tinatanong. Alright? Intimidation ha, vitiated ang consent. Number 19, consider the following. If the words of the contract are clear and leave no doubt as to the intention of the parties, interpretation of contracts may be proper. Mali yan. Void yan. Ay, void. Ano yan? False. Okay, bakit? Kasi remember guys, pag clear, di ba hindi ka naman interpret mo? Literal meaning ka dapat. Okay? Article 1370. Now, statement 2. In case of gratuitous contracts, doubt shall be resolved in favor of the greatest reciprocity of interest. Okay, mali rin yan. Okay, kapag gratuitous contracts, dapat least transmission of rights. Alright? So again, statement 1 is false kasi clear, dapat walang interpretation. Statement 2 is also false kasi pag gratuitous, least transmission of rights na. Okay? So, statement 1, the basis is Article 1370. Yung statement 2, the basis is Article 1378. So, number 19, letter B ang sagot natin. None are true. Number 20, consider the following. Mutual error as to the legal effect of an agreement when the purpose of the parties is frustrated may result in the reformation of instrument. Mali yan. Okay, bakit? Pag ganyan, pagka mutual error tas legal effect ang pinag-uusapan, vitiated yan. So meaning, voidable. Alright? Article 1334. Statement 2. Mutual mistake of the parties and the instrument Okay? Nasa ba? And the instrument does not express the true agreement will make the contract voidable. Ay, hindi. Okay? Hindi yan. Bakit? Kasi 1361 yan, Article 1361. Kapag ganyan, okay, yung instrument po, yung instrument ang mali. Okay? Yung instrument ang mali, kapag ganyan, pwede mo i-reform. Okay? Kasi remember, yung remedy, di ba, nakalagay doon, reformation. Reformation of ano? Of the instrument. So, ibig sabihin, yung contract, walang problema. Kasi yung contract, guys, yung meeting of the minds, hindi naman yung papel, di ba? Yung instrument, yan yung papel. So, nag-agree kayo on something. Okay, nag-agree kayo on something. Ang nangyari, yung instrument, doon kayo nagkamali. Okay? So, kapag nagkamali kayo doon sa instrument, ayan, pwede mong i-reform yun. Alright? So, statement 1, mali, kasi dapat ito, voidable. Yung statement 2, mali rin yan, kasi dapat ito, reformation lang. So, the answer for number 20 is, ano? Letter B. 21. Oops, 21. A gave B 1 million pesos to kill C. Alright? So, nagbayad siya. Before B could accomplish his criminal intent, A changed his mind. Okay? And demanded the return of the money from B. Okay? So, may spontaneous desistance. Ang sagot natin dyan, letter C. Alright? So, remember guys, yung spontaneous desistance ay ano yan? Yan po ay absolutory cause na tinatawag. Yung absolutory cause, guys, sa criminal law, it extinguishes criminal liability. So, hindi ka na guilty. Di ba? So, kapag hindi ka na guilty, what will happen? Ikaw na yung innocent. So, mag-apply na ngayon si Article 1411. Okay? So, kapag daw ikaw yung innocent party sa ganyang klaseng contract, criminal, di ba? Ikaw yung innocent party, what happens? You can claim what you have given and you are not bound to comply with the promise. So, yun yung letter C. Alright? Pwede mong bawiin yung 1 million pesos. Okay? Remember guys, spontaneous desistance is an absolutory cause which extinguishes criminal liability. Okay? So, 21 letter C ang sagot. 22. In a contract of sale executed by S and B, it appears S sold his motor vehicle to B for 50K. It turned out that S has 3 motor vehicles. Okay? May Galant, Hi-Ace, at saka Jeep. So, which of the following is correct? Sagot dyan, there's no contract. Bakit? Kasi, hindi mo alam kung ano yung subject matter. Okay? So, the answer here, the basis is Article 1378. Okay? Sa bandang dulo, if the doubts cast upon the principal object of the contract in such a way that it cannot be known what may have been the intention or the will of the parties, ito, hindi mo na alam kung alin, di ba? The contract shall be null and void. Alright? Wala kayong contract. Kasi di ba, ang ibig sabihin ng null and void, wala. So, no contract. Okay? Kasi, may kulang kang element. So, number 22, letter D, ang sagot natin. 23. A was having his house repaired by B who needed construction materials. So, A orally told the seller C, quote, give B the materials, I shall be responsible. I shall pay in 30 days. Okay? Tapos, ay, kulang ng quote. C deliver the materials. Okay? So, inako na niya. Siya na lang. Siya na daw magbabayad. As a result, our answer is letter B. Okay? Hindi po ito covered ng statute of frauds. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman siya promised to be responsible for the miscarriage of another, di ba? Or for the default of another. Hindi. Ano sabi dito? Inako mo. Ikaw na lang magbabayad. Yun lang sinabi. So, wala po yan dun sa listahan. Alright? So, again, yung statute of frauds, guys, listahan yun, ha? Listahan yun. So, kapag wala dun, of course, hindi siya covered. Just like in number 22. Letter B ang sagot mo. 24. Hamzi, a Phil-Am dual citizen based in the USA, went to the Philippines for a vacation. While in Boracay, she went on a drinking spree and eventually met Jay, the bartender. O, hindi ako yan, ha? While under the state of drunkenness, Hamzi orally agreed to buy the land of Jay in Boracay for 1 million pesos. Okay? When its fair market value was 5 million. What is the status of the contract? Okay, of course, that is voidable. Bakit? Kasi under a state of drunkenness ka. Vitiated po ang consent. Okay? Yung price, wala tayong pakialam sa price kasi gross inadequacy of price does not affect the status of a contract unless it indicates that you intended some other contract to exist. Pero dito wala namang sinabi. Mura lang niya talagang binayad. Mura lang talaga binenta. Yun nga lang, lasing na lasing yung isa. Okay, 24 letter B tayo. Number 25, consent is manifested, okay, by the meeting of the offer, which is certain, and the acceptance which must be absolute, upon the thing and the cause which constitute the contract. Okay, yan yung meeting of the minds, meeting of the minds. In relation thereto, consider the following. Yeah. Statement 1. If at the time of the making of the offer or acceptance, one of the parties was insane, the resulting contract is voidable. Diba? Tama naman. Bakit? Kasi incapacitated yung isa. Okay, yung mga demented, yung mga ganyan. Diba? Alright. So, true yan. Statement 2. If before the acceptance is conveyed, okay, so ibig sabihin may offer na. Okay? To the offeror, either of the parties become insane, the resulting contract is void. Tama rin yan. Bakit? Diba remember guys, an offer becomes ineffective upon the death, civil interdiction, or insanity of either party before the acceptance is conveyed. So ano nangyari dito? Maayos yung pag-iisip nila nung nagkaroon ng offer. Yun nga lang, bago magkaroon ng acceptance, saka pumasok yung insanity. Yan. Kapag ganyan yung situation, what happens? Kailangan mo tingnan si Article 1323. Nawawala na ng visa yung offer. So, kahit i-convey mo yung acceptance, wala ka nang ina-accept. Kasi wala, kumbaga, legally, yung offer, wala na. Alright? So, kapag walang offer pero may acceptance, kulang. Okay? Walang consent. So, ano mangyayari? Void yung contract mo. Or, more properly, wala kang contract. Okay? Statement 3. If after acceptance is conveyed to the offeror, either of the parties become insane, the resulting contract is valid. Ito, tama yan. Okay? Tama rin yan. Bakit? Kasi remember guys, when do you determine the status of your contract? At the point of perfection. So, regardless of what happens after, wala ka na pakialam. Okay? Maliban na lang kung i-ratify mo. Okay? Wala. Iba naman yun. Okay? Iba yung nangyari. So, number 25 guys, the answer is letter A. All are true. 26. X, a minor, orally sold his only iPad for 20,000 pesos to be a demented person during a lucid interval. Alright? So, a down payment of 12,500 was paid at the point of perfection. No problem. So, statement 1. If at the time, ay, ba't yun ito? 26 na pala, I'm sorry. Yan. Statement 1. The contract is valid. Tama yun. Okay? Bakit? Kasi remember, minor tapos nasa lucid interval. So, ibig sabihin, only one of the parties was incapacitated. Diba? Tama, di ba? Tama. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, pag only one of the parties is incapacitated, the contract is valid until annulled. Kasi voidable. Okay? So, statement 2. Only one of the parties may file a case to nullify? Yes. Sino lang yung pwede? Yung minor lang. Okay? Statement 3. Either party may sue the other for performance of their respective obligations in case of breach. Yes. Kasi valid nga ito. Alright? Valid siya. So, pagka nagdemanda lang si B, pag nagdemanda si B, pwedeng erase ni minor yung yung kanyang defense of minority. Pero kung hindi niya gagawin yun, okay lang, no problem. Kasi nga valid until annulled. Okay? So number 26, all are true rin yan ha? All are true. 27. The following are essential elements of a contract of sale except, ay syempre yung warranty. Okay? Yung warranty guys, accessory obligation niya ni seller. Okay? Aside from the obligation to deliver at saka transfer ownership, ito, kasama to sa obligations niya. 28. One of the followings of dasyon and pago is also a characteristic of a contract of sale. Which one is it? Letter D ang sagot natin dyan. Alright? Letter D ang sagot natin dyan. Yan lang yung common sa kanila. Kasi yung letter A, yung sale, pwede namang wala. Diba? Letter B, wala naman na-extinguish pa sa contract of sale. Okay? Not necessarily. Tapos, letter C, there is less freedom in fixing the price. Okay? Sa sale, pwede mo actually, that's one of the things that you have to agree on. Diba? Okay, so letter D, pareho yan. Matatransfer pareho. And in fact, si dasyon and pago, diba, that's governed by the law on sales. So, kailangan talaga may transfer of ownership. Okay? So, 28 guys, letter D ang sagot natin. 29. S and B entered into a contract whereby S transferred to B a specific car for the price of 200,000 pesos. While B gave to S 90,000 in cash and a diamond ring worth 110,000 pesos. The heading of the written contract reads, contract of sale. Now guys, pag ganito, remember, ang nililito ka dito, kasi di ba, may barter. Bakit? Kasi mas mahal yung dapat barter yan. Now guys, hindi ganun mag-analyze ng ganyang question ha. You have to take a look at 1468. Ano ba yung rule natin? Ano yung rule natin? If hindi mo sure, okay, at first glance, hindi mo sure kung barter ba yan or sale, ang unang-una mo titingnan is yung intent. Okay? Intent ang titingnan mo. Kasi the first rule there is that the transaction shall be characterized by the manifest intention of the parties. Tingnan mo naman to. Okay, tingnan mo naman. Contract of sale yung heading nila. Malamang yan ang kanilang intention, di ba? Alright? Now guys, kapag yung consideration is partly in money and partly in cash, hindi po automatic na i-apply mo yung rules on barter. Di ba? Pagka mas mahal yung thing, nagiging nagiging barter. Pag mas marami yung cash, nagiging sale, di ba? Parang ganyan. Hindi po automatic. Again, titingnan mo muna yung intent. Yun muna. Kapag hindi mo makita yung intent, pag malabo, saka ka lang mag-a-apply ng rules na ginagamit natin. Alright? So guys, pakibasa. 1468. Yung unang-unang rule dyan, yung manifest intention. So number 29, our answer is letter B. Number 30. Okay. B purchased from S a laptop computer worth 100,000 pesos. The terms of the sale provide for a down payment of 20 and the balance payable in 8 monthly installments. To secure the balance, S required B to execute a chattel mortgage on the laptop, okay, and the real estate mortgage on the lot of B. B complied with the requirements but defaulted in payment of the third and fourth installments. These remedies are available to S except one. Which one is it? Okay, so alin? Lahat yan guys ay nasa recto. Diba? Recto law yan. Okay? So, lahat yan naka-recto. Ang hindi mo pwedeng gawin dyan is letter D. Okay? Bakit? Kasi 'di ba pag nag-foreclose ka dito, wala ka ng way. Hindi ka na pwedeng kumuha ng deficiency. Okay? So, pagka nag-foreclose ka uli ng real estate mortgage, tingnan mo ano ba objective mo? Kunin yung deficiency. So, iniikutan mo yung batas. Hindi pwede 'yun. Right? Hindi pwede 'yun. So, absolute po yung prohibition diyan. Kapag nag-foreclose ka, wala na. Okay? Kung kulang 'yan, sorry, ganun lang talaga buhay. So, letter D ang number 30. 31. B. A Filipino who was in Japan made an overseas call to A, his friend, to sell P's lot in Quezon City immediately as P needed cash. So, nangailangan ng pera. So, accordingly, A sold the lot to B. The deed of sale in a public instrument is in a public instrument. The sale of P's lot is, syempre, pag-usapan natin kanina, void yan. Tingnan nyo guys may authority. Okay, yung authority. Authority to sell, tapos yung contract of sale. Pag agency guys, dalawa yung contract mo. Magkaiba po yung agency or yung authority, ibang contract yun, versus yung contract of sale. Dalawang magkaibang bagay yun. Remember, according to your Article 1874, okay, according to your Article 1874, ano po ang nagiging void? Yung sale lang. Okay? Yung agency, wala tayo pakialam doon. Okay? Agency guys is also consensual, so wala siyang required form. Okay? So remember yung sale po ang nagiging void, hindi yung agency. Okay? So number 31, letter D. 32. Okay, 32. RST are co-owners of an undivided parcel of land. R sold his 1/3 interest to T, okay, in a deed of absolute sale. Which one is correct? Okay? So kanino niya binenta? Dun sa co-owner niya. Okay? So ano sagot natin dito? B. S cannot exercise the right of redemption. Bakit? Guys, remember, yung Article 1620 regarding legal redemption, di ba? Kailan ka nagkakaroon ng legal redemption na yan? Kapag to a third person binenta. Sino yung third person? Someone who is not a co-owner. Okay, doon lang nagkakaroon. Dito, kanino ba binenta? Co-owner niya, no? Si T. So, hindi pwede. Okay? Number 32, letter B ang sagot na. 33. X sold botcha or double dead meat to B. Alright? Afterwards, B cooked and sold the meat as tonkatsu to C, who was hospitalized as a result. In this situation, statement 1, C cannot file a case against X because there is no privity of contract between them. Okay? As the contract is between B and C. Alright? Tapos, statement 2, tama yun guys, tama yun. Statement 2, the first contract is void while the second one is valid. Okay, tama rin yan. Tapos, statement 3, if the price of tonkatsu was 750, B can raise the defense that it is unenforceable and to avoid paying. Okay, mali yun. Simulan muna natin dito, statement 3. Okay, tingnan mo naman guys, meron na kasing partial performance. Okay, bakit? Kasi remember, malamang nakain na niya to or nabigay na niya. Okay, nabigay na niya. Kasi remember, kailan ba dumadating ang bill mo sa mga ganito? Di ba? Pagtapos ka na kumain. Okay, so, hindi yan covered ng statute of frauds. Well, hindi na covered ng statute of frauds. Bakit? Kasi, may partial performance na. Okay, may partial performance na. Na-deliver na sa iyo yung tonkatsu. Okay, so statement 2. The first contract is void kasi double dead meat. Okay, the second one is valid. Bakit? Kasi tonkatsu yung binenta. Okay, hindi naman binenta yung double dead meat sa kanya. So, valid yun. And statement 1, okay, tama rin yan. Bakit? Kasi remember, you have this concept called relativity. Okay, yung relativity of contracts. So, contracts only take effect between the parties, their heirs, and assigns. So, dalawa kasi magkaibang sale to. Diba? Dalawang magkaibang contract yan. So, hindi pwede. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng i-demanda yung tao na hindi naman part ng contract mo. Alright, so number 33, our answer is letter C. Only 2 are true. Ano yung true? Statement 1 at saka statement 2. 34, consider the following. Okay? Ano sagot natin dito? Letter C, only 2 are true. So, tingnan natin. The contract of pledge or mortgage may secure all kinds of obligation. True yan. Okay, true yan ha? True yan. Nakalagyan mismo dun sa batas natin. So, lahat pwede mong i-secure using a pledge or mortgage. Statement 2, It is the essence of pledges and mortgages that when the principal obligation becomes due, the things in which the pledge or mortgage consists may be alienated for the payment to the creditor. Tama rin yan. Kasi that's exactly what the security transaction is for. Di ba? Ibebenta mo yung nakasangla para yung proceeds, yun ang pambayad sa'yo. Tama naman. So, ibig sabihin, si statement 3, yan po yung mali. Yan po yung false. The creditor cannot appropriate the things given by way of pledge or mortgage or to dispose of them. The parties, however, can stipulate to the contrary. Ay, hindi po pwede yun. Okay? Hindi pwede yun. Hindi po ito subject to stipulation. That is Article 2088 or 2088. Okay? Any stipulation to the contrary is null and void. Okay? So again, statement 3 guys yung false. So our answer is letter C. 35. Consider the following. Okay? If the thing pledge, ano ba sagot natin dito? Letter C ang sagot natin dyan guys. Alright, only 2 are true. Tingnan natin kung alin. Kung alin dyan yung mga true. If the thing pledge is returned by the pledgee to the pledgor or the owner, okay? Kasi di ba remember, pwedeng mag-pledge yung tao na hindi naman si debtor, pwede yun, third party. Okay? The pledge is extinguished. Yes. Okay? Any stipulation to the contrary shall be void. Okay, tama rin. Okay, bakit? Kasi di ba remember, isa sa mga requirement ng pledge yung delivery. So kapag binalik mo, wala na siya. Di ba? Now, statement 2. A statement in writing by the pledgee that he renounces or abandons the pledge is sufficient to extinguish the pledge. For this purpose, neither acceptance for the pledgor or owner nor the return of the thing is necessary. The pledgee becoming a depositary. Tama rin yan. Okay, true yan, true yan. Okay? That is a provision of law. Okay? Express provision of law yan, guys. So, statement 2 is also true. Ngayon, ano na natira? Diba? So, statement 3 na lang. Yan po yung false. Bakit? The sale of the thing pledged via notarial sale, yan yung foreclosure, okay, shall extinguish the accessory obligation of pledge, but the principal obligation shall remain unaffected because this can legally exist even without pledge. Alright. So, bakit yun mali? Kasi guys, by provision of law, Article 2115, okay, sinabi mismo, the sale of the thing pledged shall extinguish the obligation kahit yung proceeds ay kulang. Alright? So again guys, the notarial sale will extinguish both. Okay, both. Yung pledge at saka yung principal obligation na. So 35, letter C ang sagot. Okay? Ano yung false? Statement 3. 36. Pledges by operation of law, created by operation of law, such as those in so-and-so, are governed by the foregoing articles on the possession, care and sale of the thing, as well as termination of the pledge. However, unlike in conventional pledges, okay, statement 1, a thing under a pledge by operation of law may be sold only after demand, the amount for which the thing is retained, and the public auction shall take place within 1 month after such demand. True yan. Okay, tama yan. Remember guys, dito merong ganyan. Okay, may kailangan mo i-demand, of course, tapos yung sale must occur within 1 month. Okay? Now, statement 2. If without justifiable grounds, the creditor does not cause the public sale to be held, the debtor may require the return of the thing. Ayan, yan yung nangyayari. Okay, yan yung nangyayari kapag hindi mo binenta within 1 month. And statement 3. After payment of the debt and expenses, the remainder of the price of the sale shall be delivered to the obligor. Ba naman? However, in cases of a deficiency, the rules of conventional pledges shall apply. Yan po yung false. Alright? Yan po yung false dyan. Bakit? Okay, remember, pagka pledges by operation of law or legal pledges, hindi po nag-a-apply yung rules natin on deficiency. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Pwede kang mag-demand ng or pwede mo singilin yung kulang. Okay? Unlike in conventional pledges. Again, pag legal pledges, yung deficiency, pwede mong singilin. Okay? Pag legal pledges, pwede mong singilin yung deficiency. So, here in number 36, statement 3 is false. Okay? So, letter C ang sagot natin. 37. In relation to the contract of mortgage, the form, extent, and consequences of a mortgage, both as to constitution, modification, and extinguishment, and as to other matters not included in this chapter, it shall be governed by the provisions of the mortgage law and the land registration law. Okay? So, statement 1. In addition to the requisites stated in 2085, it is indispensable that in order that a mortgage be validly constituted, that a document in which it appears be recorded in the registry of property. If the instrument is not recorded, okay, the mortgage shall not be binding on the parties. Mali yan. Okay, mali yan. Kasi sabi sa batas natin, binding siya kahit hindi recorded. Basta between the parties. Alright? Between the parties, binding yan. Statement 2. The persons in whose favor the law establishes a mortgage shall have no other right than to demand execution and recording of the document. O, tama yun. Okay, statement 3, a contract of mortgage is essentially consensual because it is perfected by mere consent. Right? Tama yan. So, dito guys, the answer is letter C. Okay? Ano yung false? Yung statement 1. Bakit siya naging false? Kasi the mortgage dapat is binding even if it is not recorded. Binding between the parties. Alright? So 37 letters yung sagot. 38. B borrowed 100,000 from S secured by a chattel mortgage on B's car. The debt is payable in installment. When B defaulted in 2 installments, S foreclosed the chattel mortgage and sold the car at a public auction. If there is excess, who is entitled to the excess? Okay? Siyempre, si B. Okay? Bakit? Siya may-ari nun eh. Di ba? Chattel mortgage na ito, guys. Chattel na. Okay? Hindi na po ito yung pledge. Yung sa kung pledge to, oo. Okay? Kaya ano yan? Kapag walang stipulation. Pero dito, sino may-ari ng kotse? Si B. So, sa kanya pupunta yung proceeds. Yung excess. So, number 38, letter D yung sagot. 39. X bank lent 100 million to ABC Corp, giving by way of real estate mortgage its warehouse. Okay, so nakasangla yung warehouse in exchange for 100 million. ABC Corp was not able to pay the bank and it foreclosed extrajudicially. All right, extrajudicial foreclosure. So how long is the redemption period in this case? So remember guys, kapag yung mortgagor, mortgagee ay bangko. Okay, pag mortgagee ay bangko, you will have to apply Section 47 of the General Banking Law. All right? Now, kapag ka judicial or extrajudicial foreclosure, generally, ano mangyayari? Merong 1-year redemption. Pag bangko ang mortgagee, ha? Pag bangko ang mortgagee. Ngayon, kapag naman, bangko ang mortgagee, tapos yung mortgagor ay juridical person, instead na 1 year ang redemption, umiikli. Nagiging itong letter C. Alright? So guys, paki-google na lang. Okay? Section 47 ng General Banking Law of year 2000. Makikita mo doon yung rules kapag ang mortgagee ay bangko. Okay? So again guys, letter C ang sagot. Bakit naging letter C? Kasi yung situation ay particular. Mortgagee is a bank, tapos the mortgagor is a juridical person. Kaya ganyan. Alright? Kaya ganyan ang situation. So 39, letter C ha? Letter C. Next, number 40. Okay? Oops, nasa number 40. Ano sagot natin? Only 2 are false. So hanapin natin yung false. The mortgage directly and immediately subjects the property upon which it is imposed, whoever the possessor may be, to the fulfillment of the obligation for whose security it was constituted. Okay, tama yun. Dahil para talaga dyan yung mortgage. Okay? So statement 2. The mortgage credit may not be alienated or assigned to a third person who in part with the formalities required. Ay mali yan. Yan ay false. Kasi ang sabi ng batas, pwede yung mortgage credit. Guys, yung mortgage credit, yan yung utang ha. Hindi po yan yung mortgage mismo. Yung utang na secured by a mortgage. Pwede mo ibenta yun. Okay? So statement 2, false yan. Statement 3, a stipulation forbidding the owner from alienating the immovable mortgage shall be binding between the parties. Ay, hindi rin pwede yan. Okay, hindi pwede yan. Yan po ay void. Okay, yan po ay void. Okay, void yan ha, void yan. Yung statement 3, void yan. That's Article 2130, I believe. Alright, so number 40, only 2 are false. Isa lang ang true dito, alin yun? Statement 1. Alright, so number 41. Ay, kita niyo sagot. It means the unpaid balance of money or its equivalent to a bank in the usual course of business. So, guys, ito lang yung definition. Okay, definition. Tandaan mo lang, guys, sa PDIC, magkaiba po yung deposit at saka yung insured deposit. Okay? So, deposit plus insured deposit. Yung deposit, guys, ito yun. Okay? Yung insured deposit, yun yung 500,000. Yun yung may limit na 500,000. Alright? So, take note of that. So, 41, letter D as well. 42. Okay? Access the following deposit accounts in the closed bank, BPI. So, bibilangin mo lang. Okay, bibilangin mo lang lahat. Tingnan mo lang, single accounts at saka yung joint accounts. So, take a look. Yung single accounts mo, magkano total? 300,000. So, no problem. Joint accounts, paano malalaman yan? Diba remember, insured separately. So, tingnan mo na yung isa. Ito, this one, yung X and Y. Joint yan. 300. So, covered lahat. Di ba kasi 500 yung maximum, 300 lang yan. So, go. Okay, so yan. Ay, magkano? 150. Tig 150 kayo. Alright? Tig 150 kayo. Tapos, what else? Okay, tig 150 kayo. And then, so yun yung joint mo. May 150 ka na joint. Ito namang isa. 4 naman sila. Joint pa rin yan. Pero remember guys hindi mo i-divide by 4 agad. Bakit? Kasi 600 siya. Eh anong maximum? 500 lang. Okay, 500 lang. So tingnan mo. So 500 dapat to. 500 divided by 4, which gives you 125. So yung joint accounts mo, may 150 ka dito sa isa, and then meron ka 125 dito kay. So what happens? 300 plus 150 plus 125 gives you letter D, 575. 42 ay 43. Alright? So, ano ito? Partner ka of XYZ partnership, ikaw rin ay stockholder. Okay, meron kang account sa BPI. Bakit BPI yung sinasara nila? Okay? So anyway, tingnan mo na lang. So, tingnan mo yung single accounts mo, ang maximum 500. Okay, 350 plus 400, so 500 lang yan. So, check. Ito guys, same time deposit. So, meron ka 125 dito. Okay, tapos, ito, tingnan mo. Again, ano nangyayari dyan? Kapag yung kasama mo ay juridical person, what does that mean? It means that everything belongs to the juridical person, or at least it is presumed. Okay, so presumed. Next, ito rin. Ex-company. Di ba? Pag ganyan, ano yan? Okay? Corporation, still, another juridical person. So wala yan, wala kang makukuhang share dyan. Excess loan payable to BPI. So magkano total mo dito? It's 500, okay, 500 plus 600, 500 plus 125 dito. Pero remember, meron kang utang. Itong 100,000. So ang sagot mo dito, letter A. Okay? Remember guys, merong power si PDIC. It can withhold payment of such portion of the insured deposit any depositor as may be required to provide for the payment of any liability of such depositor. Okay? As a stockholder of a closed bank or any liability of such depositor to the bank. Alright? So may utang siya dun sa bangko, ibabawas mo yun. Alright? Or at least the corporation can hindi offset eh. The corporation can withhold payment. Okay? Hindi niya i-offset. Pwede lang niyang i-withhold yung payment. So, ang total mo talaga dito is 625. But then, may utang kang 100. So, i-withhold ni corporation yan, meaning ni PDIC. Alright? It's in the handout I gave you. Okay? Letter D yan, dun sa powers niya. So, please take a look at that. Okay? Again, guys, hindi ino-offset ha. Wini-withhold lang. Okay? Wini-withhold lang yung payment. So, number 43, again, letter A ang sagot. It's 500,000 for the single accounts, 125,000 for the joint accounts, but yung 100,000 na utang mo, this will be withheld by the PDIC. Hindi mo na ibibigay sa inyo. Alright? Okay, 43, letter A ang sagot. 44. So, this is splitting. Titingnan mo lang yung elements. Ano sagot natin dyan? Ay, naku, lahat ay false. Bakit ganun? Tingnan mo, statement 1. Alright? Remember, dapat more than